right there,
Right there.
Nicole. Hello, my shiny happy friends. How are you?
Super friends.
Yeah, yeah. As we were wondering today about how is living meta, how is embodying loving kindness actually a superpower? We were thinking, who else better to include in our superpowers as our super friends? So, thank you all for joining us here. And uh, my name is Heath.
And I'm Nicole, and we're getting ready for our living meta practice. A little loving kindness this afternoon, about 15 minutes or so of building on our experience of loving kindness, make it bigger, 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 so big that everyone around us can experience it with us.
And I want to point out that we are all currently living through a global crisis of epic proportion.
I have COVID fatigue.
A lot of us are just exhausted and tired. Some of us are even longing for the return of normalcy. And what Nicole and I have been considering and exploring is that uh, there, there is no going back. And this has actually been in motion, the crumbling of structures of old sorts of authorities, and especially communication styles, even pre-COVID. How we communicate, how we connect has been shape-shifting in social media and digital interface. And now Zoom has just sped everything up.
Yeah, kind of like your shirt, little flash.
But what we notice is the common cultural climate that we find ourselves in is not necessarily living loving kindness, right? But there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of fight, there's a lot of flight. And so, what we know to be true is that science shows us that acts of service, altruism, being caring, kind, not only does that help the other person, but altruists also feel better themselves in the giving. It is a kind of superpower when we share not random acts of kindness, but intentional acts of kindness. It does come back. We do have that what you give, you get, is what they say in Buddhism, that instant karma of what we put out is often what we receive. And I want to appreciate everybody here who sees the word living loving kindness, hears living meta, and is willing to take active agency in that direction, which is, let's face it, it's non-ordinary. Loving kindness is non-ordinary. And yet, when I think of the most significant, meaningful memories and relationships of my life, they're infused with loving kindness. So
let's infuse our practice with some loving kindness. Let's begin.
Yes.
How are we starting? We're starting with some sumos?
We were thinking of getting active in our weight, in our gravity. So we're going to
get our heart pumping a little bit.
Yeah. And why don't you come to
super powerful?
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the big power centers for us is in our legs. So we'll ask you to bring your legs at least shoulder, if not wider. Be sure that if you bend your knees are in the direction of your middle toes.
And start to get comfortable with a little bit of kind of like a little drop in your weight, dropping your tailbone, and maybe even shifting your weight from side to side as you get into your quads and start to feel the heat opening, circulating into your legs. Here we are. So just kind of breathing from side to side and maybe get a little deeper, a little deeper. Maybe you can maybe reach a little bit more to one side than the other. Get those adductors, open those babies up.
Yeah, feel your femoral artery. That's the big transmission of blood vessel from your belly into your leg and vice versa. A lot of us have been sitting a lot. It's so important that we move our body. Amy Cuddy from Harvard talks about when we take up space, we actually feel more powerful.
Yeah.
So we invite you to occupy as much space as possible. Oh, both bent knees.
I'm taking up space like the Garuda, the giant winged bird.
And the great thing about space is it's the dominant element. We might think that the objects in the room are what's dominant, but it's actually, add some nice spontaneous movement too, my friends. It's really the space in between the objects. It's the space of the vessel that creates the functionality. So open to space.
And what I love about that is that when you take up space, it doesn't mean you take up space, you don't take away space from somebody else.
No, living loving kindness is about all
Can you go
boats
deeper?
rising. Oh, we're getting deeper.
Can we go deeper?
Low,
Start
low,
to feel a
low,
little
low.
heat.
Feel that heart. Only takes 2 minutes of a conscious practice to shift your physiology, whether it be physical, whether you're doing a meditative focus, whether you're changing your breath or how you're touching or contacting yourself.
So a couple little bend and straightens, a little stretch, straighten.
Be sure you're being friendly.
Going only as deep as feels good for you as you open up into your legs, your hips, your low back as you do this.
Yeah. How about 3 more deep breaths? And if you want to add another layer of letting go, inhale through your nose and exhale out of open mouth. It's called the purging breath, the letting go breath. How about one more bonus breath? Add your beautiful smile. And smiling is one of my favorite ways to embody loving
Heel
kindness.
toe, walk those feet in, or you can always whoop, jump it.
Kind of fun to hop. And let's take a little more of a resting position, either standing or if you need a little break, have a seat. And let's begin to build our loving kindness within. So, like we mentioned, living loving kindness is kind of an aberration, right? There's a lot of fighting, conflicting, some blaming, criticism if you look at media, or there's so to do something with loving kindness is unique, and it's like marching to the beat of a new drummer, a different drummer.
So yeah, let's find the beat of your own drum right now, placing palm over your heart. And starting to notice, we did some nice big heart pumping movements. Can you feel the beat of your own heart? You might have to get nice and quiet. You might have to lengthen your spine. You might have to take a bigger, wider, deeper breath to start to feel the consistency of your own magical, beautiful, boundless heart space.
Yeah, in yoga, the Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, means unstruck. And I think it speaks to our human potential to both receive and give love.
Hello, heart. How are you today, heart? Maybe even sending a smile into and around your own heart.
Yeah, just like you were greeting a dear old friend, imagine your heart like a wise, very loyal, loving companion.
And once you got a good sense of your own heartbeat, let's begin to breathe. Let's connect our breath to our heart space, to our heartbeats. So to your own heartbeat, your own count of 4. So your 4 heartbeats, breathe in. And 4 heartbeats, breathe out.
And you could breathe in and out the nose, or you could try that letting go breath in through the nose for 4 and out an open mouth for 4 heartbeats. And see if you can expand your breath. See if you can, with your loving attention, soften the pulse of your heart. Really connect with a smile into your heart.
This time, as you breathe in, find your 4 heartbeats as you breathe in, follow, and then hold your breath at the top. Hold your breath for 4 heartbeats. And then exhale for 4 heartbeats. Hold your breath out for 4 heartbeats and repeat that cycle a few more times around. Breathing in for 4 heartbeats. Holding your breath for 4 heartbeats. Out for 4. Hold your breath out.
And this is called box breathing. We inhale for 4. Exhale, hold it for 4. Exhale for a count of 4. And then hold it out for 4. Kind of like we're making the shape of a box. Remember that extra bonus feature of your smile. Receive your breath. It only takes 2 minutes of changing how you breathe, change how you move, change how you focus to change yourself physically, to change your mental state, your emotional state.
Noticing if your heartbeat has gotten stronger, calmer, louder, softer.
And approaching all this with friendliness. You're not trying to control your heart. You're not telling it what to do, but rather we're in collaboration. So the superpower of loving kindness isn't power over, it's power with. How can we include our body intelligence, our heart? How can we include our breath, our attention, our focus?
And in fact, the electromagnetic energy of your heart is 10 times more powerful than that of your brain. It's a powerful center of energy, of extension, and of power of reach. So if we get really good at it, we can actually start to hear the heartbeats of our friends and family about 3 feet around us in all directions.
Yeah, and biofeedback, you can actually train your physiology to know what is going on with the hearts of others. Intuitively, some of us already know.
Already, you empaths out there. We
I
got some
think
time.
one more.
Yes.
And this is like sumo plus. So sometimes fight or flight, right? I never assume that fight is anger. Remember, fight or flight is a fear signature. So when you see someone's angry, you think they're angry, consider maybe they're just in the fear flavor of fight. But then there's fight or flight, there's flee. And that's where sumo comes in. It's very hard to run out the door, to check out when you're holding yourself up. I know a lot of us are in that pandemic fatigue. We just want it to be over. We want to get out of town, get out of Dodge. This helps presence ourselves.
Let's do it.
And we're going to start with sumo.
Start it.
We're going to lift our arms up. We're going to lift our right leg up. Inhale and make a hi-ya, ha, a deep, vibrational ha. So let go of any angst, anxiety, tension, stress. It's okay to exaggerate. Have fun with this for 5 more like that. Deep breaths. Create a shift. Get your heart flowing. Open up to loving kindness. Stand steady, stand strong. 1 more each side. Last one. And pause. Straighten out your legs, heel toe your feet or hop them together.
And if you weren't feeling your heartbeat yet, feel it now.
Oh yeah. Take a couple transitional recovery breaths. So how quickly can we move from expansion, sharing, strengthening, to relaxation? A lot of us have been going out. We have been working really hard. We've been running. It feels like a non-stop marathon. Others of us have kind of been cloistering and getting smaller. We want you to explore with loving kindness, include all the extremes so that we can be that bridge, that conduit.
That superpower.
Superpower!
Superhero? I don't know.
Yeah. And for this last one, we didn't talk about this, but let's all try on your best superhero pose. And remember, this is loving kindness superpower.
Yeah!
Oh, I love it.
Screenshot of that.
Awesome. Oh, so cool, my super friends.
Too.
Yeah. It's not the web slinger with Spidey, right?
It's the I love you.
I love you. Yeah, and you know, love is not just something from the head. It's not even just something from the heart. We know when we add action, that's when it becomes real. So don't.
Yeah, action is the antidote to anxiety and depression. So let's do it. Let's get active. Let's find ways that we can create acts of loving kindness in our little bubble, in our world that we're in.
Smiling is contagious. A little more difficult with masks, but hey, maybe you're passing people on the road.
Maybe you can smize.
You can smize with your eyes. Smile with your eyes, smizing. But we encourage you over this next week to really get creative, get curious about stepping into that non-ordinary experience of embodying loving kindness.
Thank you for playing with us today, embodying loving kindness with us this evening.
Yeah, I'm going to unmute all of you. If you would like, you're welcome to say goodbye. You have to unmute yourselves also if you did want to say something. And sending you all lots of love.
Love you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Love you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Maureen, Jamie.
Annalise.
Thank you, everybody.
Janet.
Tina, Janet, two Janets, Mona, Pamela. Thanks, everybody. Love you,
Love you.
love.
Love you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.